Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback with Jay Stockwell and Bob Frady.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback. I'm Jay Stockwell.
I'm Bob Frady.
And I'm George Stockwell. Let's go.
Jorge Stockwell.
Well, we are back.
Adios.
Gentlemen, we've had a day to breathe a little bit after our rant about the Minnesota game. And now we've got Northwestern coming to town. And isn't it interesting that the rest of the season could play out even worse than last year, or we could regain our footing somehow after maybe the worst coaching display we've seen in 10 years.
You know, now that I've had a little time to think about it, to cool down just a touch, I like my advice from the last podcast. I'm following Hannah Montana. Everybody has bad days. And that was just a bad day for Nebraska football.
It was a bad day.
And you know what? This is a chance to prove that they have the stuff to make it a right day. Now, if they don't, that's a different issue. But as a fan, my number one job is to root for the brand. So I'm still holding out hope. I think we're going to win. I'm not nearly as sure as I was 2 weeks ago.
Well,
George?
Well, the last time we played Northwestern at home was, I remember this game really well. It was the infamous 3-9 2022 Nebraska Cornhuskers. And we killed Northwestern. But I'm going to be honest, guys. I've been too optimistic. I think we lose this one, unfortunately. I really hope we win. I really do. But I think we're going to lose this one. I think it's kind of starting to go. We've gotten to the top. We're going to start and just go down and down and down and down, just like last year, just like every other year. So that's my take on the game.
Any particular reason, or are you just feeling bad?
Northwestern has been on a hot run. They've won like 3 or 4 games in a row against. I mean, even though Penn State isn't a great team, they still beat them at home as Northwestern. And they're not a bad team. They clearly got solid coaching because they don't have good recruits. You know what I mean? They're a 3-star program. So, I mean, they've been playing good. They just shut out Purdue, who was in a nail biter with Minnesota, and Minnesota killed us. So, that's what I think is going to happen. I still think it's going to be close, but I think we lose, to be honest. I think we do. But I really hope we can really turn it around. I hope that was a fluke game, but I just don't know. It's too hard to tell till Saturday comes. And trust me, I'm there, guys. I want to win. But I'm being realistic here. I think we're gonna lose. So what do you guys got? I know you guys gave a little preview, but that's what I think.
Go ahead, Bob. I'll bring up the rear.
So the addict relapsed in last week. You know, we talk about Nebraska like it's the bad boyfriend who's like, this time for sure I'm going to be a good boyfriend, and then bam, disappoint you when you need it the most. And when we needed it the most, when we were there, okay, Nebraska has a couple of good things going for it this game. Number one, I won't be there because in live games I am 0-10 in my last 10 games. The last game I went to that they won was against Arizona in the Holiday Bowl, which was a long, long time ago.
It's been 10 games.
I have not seen a winning game in 10 games.
Ooh.
And so I won't. In fact, I think I'm going to start petitioning the athletic department to pay me not to go to games. So I think there might be a money-making opportunity in there. So that's number one. Number two, they're at home. You know, they get a chance to lick their wounds. They have an extra day because they played on Friday. And hopefully they put something sound in place to quell the nerves of the Nebraska faithful. So those are the two things I see having going for them. They still have the same coaching staff. They still have the same offensive approach. So if those two things, you know, if that offensive approach stays the same, they're going to lose again. Let's hope that they learn and that Matt Rhule gets to serve a big case of I told you so after the game. So that's my take on it. Jay, what do you think? What are your top 5 themes of this game, Jay?
You got like 100 words?
I still believe this team is different than previous years. I think Dylan Raiola is a fighter. I think he's gotten the message. He's got to get the ball out quick, and they all know this now. And Dana Holgerson's going to run a different game where he's going to run the ball and he's going to get the pass out quick. And if we do that, we can be successful offensively. We still have the number one secondary in the country, but expect them to come in and run the ball. So our defense is going to have to bow their necks and stop the run. So I think they'll bounce back. I remember I was the sane one at the beginning of the season and said we're going to be an 8-4 team, which will be measurable progress. Okay. I think a lot of things happened last week that came together to distract this team. Short week, the Matt Rhule thing, the pink masks and the white uniforms, all that bullshit got in the way of execution in that game. And our coaching staff just did not adjust. As we said in the post-game pod, I think we've got one real football coach on that staff, and that guy is Mike Eckler, and everybody on that staff needs to learn from him. And we guys just have to do our job better. Everybody.
Hey, I thought defensively they were fine last week.
Yeah, it was the momentum. Our offense let down.
Well, the per program record 9 sacks for Minnesota. That was it, and the sacks are on the whole team. The sacks are on guys who are misreading plays, backs missing blocks, offensive guys getting bowled over, and Dylan Raiola standing there with his shoes in the cement.
It's like if you have offensive line problems.
Sorry, the other thing that I totally agree with you about Mike Eckler is you look at the offense, you look at the defense, you know almost every single name. You maybe know one name on the special teams, and they're still really good. You know what I mean? It's
unit on the field.
It's the best unit on the field. I think we're gonna see. I don't know. I mean, before the last game, the offense didn't look bad, so I really hope it's a fluke. I really do, but I really do, and I think if you really care,
we're an offense. Give me the Maryland.
Hold on. I think if you really care about the unit, I think your uniform argument is the stupidest thing ever.
But it's just
it is the stupidest thing ever. You sound like a voodoo, like a voodoo.
Another dumb distraction.
Yeah.
Matt Rhule talked about on the podium. Coach, don't
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Oh. You can wear pajamas and still win a game.
Let's play football. Don't let anything distract you.
Well, then what's gonna happen on USC when we wear black jerseys? Are we gonna get
I wouldn't do it. I would just, you know what? The quarterback is trained to look at the players that he's normally used to looking at and what color uniforms they have on.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Jay, voodoo, superstition, uniform, Stockwell. That's your new middle name.
I'm just saying it's another distraction among many. Okay, Matt.
I tell you, you give me a good offensive game plan, and you can play in floral print tutus.
It has nothing to do with the uniforms, dude. It's like, oh, they put on another uniform.
Take the L on this one, big guy. You're out, man. 2-1.
You sound like Dave Portnoy right now, talking about lightning strikes and how they ruin football.
I'm just telling you that it was just one data point in a series of data points loaded.
One data point. Maybe we just suck.
If they had won, you wouldn't be saying that. You didn't walk into that game and going, "Oh no, they're wearing surrender whites." Oh no, it's like that's an after the fact thing.
Oh, but I did call out the Rhule to Penn State as a major distraction. First thing I said.
Okay, don't give me whataboutism. You're talking about the uniforms right here.
Yeah.
You sound like Fidel Castro, and you sound like Donald Trump right now, man.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah. Well, remember I talked about the color of the footballs. So,
sorry, the Castro's an inside joke. I shouldn't have said that. That's an inside.
So anyway, back on point. Follow me, fellas. Follow me. It's a big week for the team. It's a very big week for the team. Either this train gets back on the tracks, or it's pretty much lost for the season. This is a must-win game.
Derails.
This is a must-win game for.
Let's review the schedule. We've got
no. We're not
let's
doing
not
that.
review the schedule. This team needs to be in a mindset. We're not going to the playoffs.
How hard is it for you to focus on one game at a time, Stockwell? One game at a time.
To be one game oriented, because it doesn't matter what happens at USC if we lose to Northwestern, dude.
My point. That's exactly my point.
What
because
distraction.
it's easier going from here.
You want to talk about distractions? You don't want to talk about distractions? Talk about other games besides the one that's in front of you.
I think I
That's a
agree.
distraction.
I think before this week, I wasn't caring that much about Minnesota. I was caring more about USC. I was caring more about Iowa, and that's the problem. You got to go 1 week at a time. I think that's one thing that Matt Rhule gets right. Is he always says you got to go 1-0 on the week. And I mean, yeah, he's got these cool quotes for the media, but he just got to figure it out. You know what I mean? I don't think we should even focus on USC right now. So
yeah, I think that if Emmett Johnson doesn't get 20 rushes in this game, that Nebraska will lose.
That's a smart.
That's a fact.
That is.
And this whole we're going to run him like crazy in the first quarter and then ignore him for much of the rest of the game, and then stick him back into the fourth quarter if it's close is a dumb strategy. Yeah, he might get injured. Yeah, he might get tired. Yeah, you're trying to build up other running backs, but you got to win with what you got right now. Like Mosey might be a great back someday, but why you're putting him?
He did not have a bad game.
Why you're putting him in the second quarter in place of Emmett Johnson, who ran pretty well in the first quarter? I don't understand it. And it's like
you only give Emmett the ball 14 times. He ain't tired either.
It's
Look,
like
I think I'm not trying to reflect again, but I think it's a clear coaching problem. You watch the game; the players are playing hard. You know what? Emmett Johnson was running like he wanted to get CTE. You know what I mean? Dylan Raiola was still trying, even though he was getting sacked at like 20 to 30% of the time. The players want to play, and they keep saying that, but it's the coaching, man. They just need to. I don't know. I hope it's a fluke. I kind of think it's a fluke. But we need to figure it out and figure out especially the offensive line. That's my biggest worry right now is the offensive line. Because if we let up over Northwestern is a good record, but let's be honest, they don't have a flashy D line. If we let up 2 to 3 sacks this week, we are screwed. The offensive line is the biggest. I'm not too worried about our defense. I like the last game, it was all our offense. Let's be honest. They had so much more time of possession. Our defense made some good plays. We just had a couple bad calls against us. It just really matters. The offensive line is what matters. It doesn't matter what jerseys we wear. It doesn't matter what superstitions you have. It's a coaching thing. We need to figure it out.
I do. Yeah, everything we said in the post game pod stands true. It's coaching all the way.
Now, Northwestern did run for 230 yards last week, and Nebraska is weak against the run. So you got to figure out how can I maybe put my defensive backs on an island so I could overplay the run and make them throw it. Not a particularly accurate passer. He was 11 for 26 last week against Purdue. And you gotta put it on the quarterback's shoulders and force the issue. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I'm not gonna get into it in depth. They're in this position, blah 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 blah, because all the stats have led us nowhere. And you just got to go with your gut. My gut is that they're going to win, but it's going to be 21-17 Nebraska. Low scoring affair. And listen, I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they drop a 50 burger on them. But I don't see the kind of game plan that makes that happen yet. So you've lost the optimist. I'm going back to last year where they're 6.5-point favorites. They're not going to cover. The over-under.
Never cover.
The over-under is 44. They're coming under. So the under and no cover, but a win. Give me a win with an under and no cover, and I'll be last year's Sunday morning quarterback.
I totally agree with you, Bob, because they're going to chew the clock on the ground. They know that we can't stop the run, and it's going to come down to the lack of sacks and Dylan Raiola's ability to get the ball out.
Yeah.
And they have to run. It's got to be balanced. They got to run. We got to run.
It's sad. It's sad. It is what it is. It is what it is. But you got to get out there and you got to go win the game. You got to reestablish the faith.
Right.
Because
I'm going to totally line up with your prediction, Bob. I'm going 21-17 Nebraska. It's going to be, we're not going to cover, and it's going to be the under. Agreed.
Yeah, it is. Listen, I hope it was just a blip. I'm not certain that it is, because we've been saying the same thing for now 2 seasons. But you don't have Polar Bear and Robinson up front, yet you kind of pretend that you do. and that's a problem. Now, on the good news side, Purdue has had no sacks in their last 2 games, so it's not like they have a stinging pass rush. So there does run the opportunity for this game to blow open. I just ain't predicted it. So yeah, I'm still of the faith, but I do. And my father-in-law went to dental school at Northwestern, so a little piece of me is attached to Northwestern. But I Nebraska should win this game. Although my faith in their offense diminishes week by week.
Look, I think that this game is the turning point. No matter if it's up or down, it's the turning point. I think we lose 17-13. I think our offense just gets no traction at all, exactly like Minnesota. I'm sorry, guy. I am usually the most optimistic here. I had it set 11-1 at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to look ahead. I could give you my season prediction right now, but I'm not going to. I think we lose this game. I think it's extremely embarrassing. I think if we lose, we don't sell out versus USC. I think we shouldn't as fans. I think
USC will sell out.
Hold on. Let one game at a time, George. One game at a time.
No, I know, but I know I kept saying one game at a time, but I think we should. If we lose this game or if we keep losing, whatever happens, there needs to be a point where we don't sell out because it shows the program that we actually like the program.
It's already a scam.
Yeah, no, the program thinks they can fall on the fans' backs. We need to stop letting them fall on our backs. Penn State was the most electric environment in college football, and they just had like 70% fan attendance rate in the last 2 games, which they should, obviously.
Yeah,
I think Nebraska needs to do the same thing if we start.
I
predict a 17-13 loss. I think it's just a really hard game to watch. And if
you look at the
one more thing, if it's like the end of the first and the end of the first half, and we're losing, I'm just gonna go back to bed. I'll sleep for another 3 hours. I can do it. Yeah.
Maybe you should sleep. Maybe you should sleep until 3, and we'll just wake you up and let you know how it turned out.
Let me
You
know.
don't have to deal with it. You don't want this to turn into the Rose Bowl, where there's nobody there. That's an embarrassing situation. But if they win this game, they will become bowl eligible. The Cricket Celebration Bowl or the Bucked Up LA Bowl hosted by Gronk would certainly love to see Nebraska. Or the Salute to Veterans Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama.
What would be just killer? What would be killer if we have an 8-4 finish, but it's bad losses and we play Navy. Oh my God, would that be the best thing ever? If we played Navy in a bowl, that would be awesome. That's what. Look, I just wanted to no optimism in us doing anything solid anymore. So I just hope we play Navy. That's my last hope.
There it is. 25 years.
Yeah,
I just want the game to be in some place warm where we can play golf and have it not be on Christmas or Christmas Eve or Christmas post day. So that's, that. But we went from we're going to a good bowl to holy cow, are we going to a bowl in the space of a week? So let's see what happens. Let's keep the faith. That's our job. We're the fans. Remember that, and try to root for the best. Hope that the home team brings it home. All that good stuff. So,
all right, George, I'm seeing you a little under the weather. So I'm gonna
hold on. We've got 2 games of the week here in the Big Ten.
Oh,
two games of the week. Number 1, Minnesota versus Iowa. That should be fun to see what happens in that game.
I was 10-1 in the last, or 9-1 in the last 10 games, but Minnesota did win 2 years ago on a game that Iowa should have won. Give me Iowa. And in the big game, I am extremely excited for Indiana UCLA.
That's excited. That is the second big game. It's Indiana UCLA. It is. I have a bias for this for a particular reason that sounds like a creep. My friend from college went to law school at IU. Oh my God, the talent there is off the charts. And then I lived in LA and I've been to UCLA.
I'm gonna get with the crew in the Philippines.
Oh my gosh, the talent is off the charts. I call this the talent bowl. So I think it's maybe smart talent versus not so smart talent, but this is the talent bowl. I cannot wait to see who wins this game. I'm pumped for UCLA's resurgence because you don't want UCLA being a terrible team. You want them to represent the Big Ten well. And Indiana, man, they're just flying. It'll be fun to see what they come up with.
Kurt
It'll be
Cignetti
interesting.
went off on the fact that they're favored by 25 points. I mean, he's like, guys, this is a 3-0 team since the coaching change.
Yeah.
I think this game is actually kind of similar to the Nebraska-Indiana game last year. But I think Indiana's going to smoke these guys. Indiana's still they're the best team in the country. I don't care what you guys think about Ohio State. Indiana's the best team in the country. They will win.
It is exciting to see.
And
it's exciting to see.
It's another example of how coaching is everything. It's literally the game.
Yeah. If you'd have said that in the last 3 weeks that UCLA and Indiana would both be 3-0, people would have laughed at you. They would have thought that Indiana would have lost to Oregon, and UCLA would have lost to somebody. But great coaching.
And Kurt Cignetti doesn't have a podcast. He doesn't have his own Pat McAfee weekly appearance. He hasn't gotten his hair, adjusted. He doesn't change their uniforms to ridiculous, weird things every week. Okay.
Here's what I love about Kurt Cignetti.
Can you shut up about the uniforms?
Kurt Cignetti is who he is, and he doesn't care what you think. It's like he does not care what you think. He's like, when he says something like, "I'm a winner everywhere I go, Google me," I'm like, that's the kind of guy who's going to put faith in his team.
Exactly. Just like
Google me.
Yeah.
Google me.
Be a head coach. Be a coach.
Hey, James Franklin's available, so he could be our next coach too.
Bob and I'll finish this. Go get your sister.
All right, I'm leaving.
All right, you know what? We're ready. Let's get out. George, send us out.
Come on, let's go.
Go Big Red!
Go Big Red! Till next time.